Whoa, you can almost read the word behind there. 0.18 differences. Wow, wow, wow. This is actually impressive. Hello. Look at them. Welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. Today is a very special day, and this video is very special. As you can see back there, I got a new 3D printer. Let's scratch today's 3D printer. This is the Artillery Sidewinder X4 PRO. The X4 Plus is not out yet. I would love to get my hand on that one compared with this one. But for this video, we've got the Sidewinder X4 Pro. I will first unbox this, then I will do some B-rolls while explaining the specs of this 3D printer. This video will be an unbox, review, and first impression. Man, I'm so excited. Quick disclaimer, I bought this with my own money. Artillery did not send me this, so everything I say in this video is based on my opinion. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Well, for some reason I lost my knife. I'm gonna use this. You get some user manual. You get some accessories. Whoa. That is actually a lot of accessories. Okay, it comes with 2 rods, spool holder, mounting spool, 4.3-inch touch display. Okay, you got the upper parts here. Some more foam packaging. You get the base part and a power cord. Let's go. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna go over all the accessories that you get in this package. You get a filament snipper, you get a filament scraper, you get some grease, you get a little filament tester. These are M4 x 18, 4 M5 x 40, Allen wrench, nozzle cleaner, USB nozzle, and some zip ties, and a tube. You get some wire clip. You get a 4 x 3 x M3 and 5 x 10 screw, M3 x 12 for locking the screen, M5 x 16 for the tie rod. They also give you a Wi-Fi antenna. Wow. Flat gasket. The last thing is your glue stick. Let's go. Now let's assemble this printer. This is Artillery Sidewinder X4 Pro. It has a print volume of 240 by 240 by 260 millimeters. It has a max printing speed of 500 millimeters per second. It comes with clipper firmware, pressure advance, and input shaping. It has reliable metal linear rail structure. It has a 9x9 points auto leveling. The nozzle can go up all the way to 300 Celsius. This Sidewinder X4 Pro has Wi-Fi, USB, Type-C transfer of your G-codes. It has resume printing. Let's go. Look at this. It's magnetic. How cool is that? It's magnetic. Wow. I would love to see more 3D companies do this with their touchscreen. And it features dual pole rod structure at the back of the 3D printers to stabilize everything. It also features automatic nozzle cleaning at the back of the build plate. This printer can accelerate up to 12,000 millimeters per second squared. It has a dual gear direct extruder. All the linear rails are all metal. Yeah, that's the spec of this Artillery Sidewinder X4 Pro. Ooh, that is so smooth. There's no wobbly on the head, which is very nice. It also has a clip right here to hold it. We're gonna use this R-type clamp. Place it right here so that we lock in this. To be honest, I don't really think this is actually needed because this wire is long enough for the head to go all the way over here without interfering this wire, but it's good to have. Now we're gonna install this tie rod. We just need to secure in these bolts so that it's not loose. Okay, well, I think we are pretty set, but on their instruction, there's nothing about this wire up here. I believe this is for the filament runout sensor, but on the instruction, it doesn't have that. So I'm just gonna plug it in right now. We are complete. Now we just need to power this printer and we will go for our first test. I'm gonna turn on. And would you look at that? It's working! Oh my gosh, let's go! Whether to enter the boot interface. Yes. It's actually telling us to do manual leveling, so I guess I'll go over this procedure and we'll get right back to you. After I manually level the bed, now it will auto level the bed. Now it's saying something in Chinese. I don't know what it says. This Artillery Sidewinder, you just put this in and then you just click load on the screen and it will just auto load in the filament. It doesn't have a latch to lock and unlock. Okay, so before we get printing, this Artillery Sidewinder is using clipper firmware and you have fluid interface here. Okay, right now I'm printing the Benchy, which they call it boat PLA. Holy frick, what happened there? Yo, look at that. What the heck? They just dig into the bed like crazy. What happened? Why does it keep doing that? I gotta emergency shut down the printer because it keeps hitting the bed like that. Why does it keep doing that? Bro, this printer's problems. Why does it keep hitting into the beds like that? Okay, finally did the auto bed leveling. I was confused why it did not do it because it says that it has an 81 Pro leveling, bed leveling. I was confused why it did not do it. Now it has done it. Let's save it. Let's restart Clipper. As you can see the bed leveling right there. It's actually pretty darn level. It's only the middle portion that's kind of like bendy upward, but everything else is perfect. Look at this. It's a range of 0.18 differences. Wow. This is actually impressive. Look at the bed. That is so nice. Hopefully it will just offset the middle part a little bit, but oh my gosh, this is a really good bed leveling system. So let's print and see if this will correspond to the printer. Let's go. Okay, apparently it was printed way too high. It's not like adjusting to the bed. Let's do one more print and see if this will work. Okay, that's so much better now. Okay, that seems perfect. The Z offset seems perfect right now. While this is printing, I am going to their artillery slicer, and it's apparently a copy of Prusa slicer. So it's like something is scraping. There's something that I forgot to take off. Okay, well, it's done printing. You can see that it took 40 minutes exact. Try taking this off. Okay, remove the build plate and just pop it right off. Woo, that's amazing. I'll show you how this happened. Then we will take a look at the Benchy. I'll show you exactly how the bed leveling happened. So we go to Cal right there, and then we go to auto leveling. Yes, then it's gonna do its auto leveling, but it has a manual level in there too. Then it goes to a certain height. Then on the screen here, if you can see that, it says use the move up and down key on the right to adjust the height of the platform, so that the leveling paper has a slight friction between the nozzle and the platform. And then click the key below. You're supposed to use their leveling paper here to do that with the printer over here. But as you can see here, it's almost like a finger thick, so it's like almost what, 10 millimeters off. So you can't even do it. I use the up and down arrow key like they say down here. I move it down until my paper is level, or until this nozzle is hitting the paper and I have a little friction. So then once I got that, I click next step, and then it gives you the error your Z axis is lower than your Z offset, and that cannot happen. But it doesn't prevent you from printing anything. So if you print, it's just gonna do what it did earlier. It's just gonna go straight into the bed and just destroy or damage your build plate. They should make this auto leveling a little bit better. You doing it manually right here, I don't mind that at all, because like you saw earlier, you get a really good flat build plate. But the problem is it doesn't limit you how low you can go. So you can just keep going down until you get friction on the paper, and then that's already way too low. That's like what? Let's say this hitting the bed is 0 and this is like 10 millimeters off. You go down 10 millimeters right in this screen, that's like -10. So that's way lower than the bed, and the machine doesn't tell you that right here. Oh, there we go. The fan finally turns off. The printer doesn't tell you right here, so you don't even know that. You just keep clicking down until your paper has friction, and then once you do that, you click save. It's just gonna be way too low, and that's what happened. Your print head is gonna dig into your build plate. Let's look at the Benchy. It actually looks pretty nice. You can see right there, it's like a little black layer right here, which is not quite sure. Maybe that's just the infill. But the side looks nice. The bottom isn't that good because the Z offset was kind of off. I gotta adjust it. It has some stringing right there. Let's look at this bridging. Wow, that's actually a pretty clean bridge right there. But the back hole right here, it's not that clean. You can see that it has a blob right there. The top of this looks pretty darn good. The circle looks pretty darn good. Look at that. The top layer finish is really smooth. All the top layer is nice. There's like a layer shift right there. Whoa, you can almost read the word behind there. Wow, that is very accurate. Damn. Okay, this one is from the K1 Max. And you can see, pretty similar. On the K1 Max, you can see that it has these ringing right there. It has the ringing. But for the Artillery one, it doesn't have the ringing. It's just a smooth layer. Wow. You can see it, the light reflect off of it. And on this, you can see that it has ringy layer. What? Are you kidding me? This Artillery printer is that good? Wish they would just give you a full roll of filament instead of this. Instead of doing like this, if not a full roll, at least give like a 0.5 kilogram filament in an actual roll of filament instead of just doing this. Okay, it's done printing this thing here, but for this, I was using Orca Slicer and it doesn't have a preset for this specific printer. So it doesn't know where to park, where to start. It basically just start printing. It doesn't do the purge, it doesn't do the wipe. I need to get that figured out, but let's take a look at this. It basically finished on top of the print, which is not good. This is Orca tolerance test. We can see that the number is showing up clearly. I did not change anything besides the infill. 0.4, it goes right through. 0.3, it goes right through. 0.2, it goes right through. 0.1, it gets in there, but you can still push it right through. Let's see at 0.05. Okay. Oh, a little bit of struggle. Oh. Okay, 0.05 is stuck, really stuck in there. Okay, what about 0? Can it fit at 0 tolerance? Let's try the other side. It can. It can. You can force it in there, but it's not like the best fit. It fit, but it's like, oh, you gotta really force it and it doesn't really go in there. Oh wow, the tolerance goes down to 0.05. It's in there, but it kind of messed up the first layer because no, the first layer wasn't good on this one. I need to adjust the Z offset again. I don't know why. I need to keep adjusting, and now it's saving, but it's not loading in. The tolerance test is a pass for me. Consider this is printing at, the first layer was 0.05 width, so it fits. So that's really nice. Okay, so for this test, I essentially crank up the speed all the way to 500. It shows you the speed that it's printing at. It's going at 1,000. You see that it's going at 1,000 right there. It just changed. 840, 221, 1,000. Okay, let's look at the 3D printers printing. Okay, next I will be printing this. A first layer test. I'm using Orca Slicer. It's gonna take about 27 minutes. The speed is gonna be at 105 millimeters per second. So let's get printing. I have been playing with this Artillery Sidewinder X4 PRO for 2 days now. I basically almost stayed up for the whole 2 days, but that's besides the point. Let's take a look what I have printed. I printed this thing that comes with the printer on the USB. The detail in this thing is amazing actually. You can really see all the details. There's a seam right there because the filament that they provided was only this much and it ran out, so I used Elegoo for the other half, and as you can see, it matches perfectly, which is nice. That is so nice. The infill is not that much and the top layer even is very good. I also printed this vase. It's a solid vase. It's not like a spiral vase, but I printed this vase and it turns out beautifully. This is one of the most beautiful 3D prints model I had ever printed. I'm not even joking. If you look just like one hand away here, you can't even see the layer lines. It's actually that good. Even with all these curvy, there's like minimum ghosting and stuff like that. If you really look at it, you can see it. But if you just look at like this far away, you can't even tell that it has layer. Even the top layer is pretty good. this has a good infill, and it's only like what, 2 lines, and actually printed the top infill so nicely. The bed mesh for this Artillery Sidewinder X4 Pro is absolutely insane. With the manually adjust and then the auto leveling to get the bed mesh, it's amazing. I love that. Kind of wish every single printer has this kind of feature. It has the wheel at the bottom, you can adjust the 4 side, and maybe adjust the middle too. Who knows? But oh my gosh, dude, it just printed so amazing. So essentially, this is a speed printer, right? It's rated up to 500 millimeters per second, acceleration up to 12,000 millimeter. But I cranked that up to the maximum that it can, and this is how it printed. I was trying to print this tolerance circle thingy, but when you crank this machine up all the way to the maximum speed, this is what happened. The layer keeps shifting like this. As you can see right there, right? The first layer is like that, and then the other layer is shifted over here. It's consistent throughout all of them. I tried restarting this print like 3 to 4 times, and the same thing keeps happening. I'm just gonna let it finish. So that's what happened. I was modeling this screw tester thing, but I did a really bad job of it. But I just want to show you this. It keeps layer shifting like that. The first layer goes down, and then the second layer up, it's like shifting. It's not sticky to the bed. It's stuck to the bed really well, but it just keeps shifting like this. It moves way too fast. I feel like it moves way too fast, and then it just shifts the layer. This thing cannot be completed without a full bed test. The corners aren't precise how you manually level them, and they're not actually precise to how the bed mesh you see on Fluid, because the bed mesh is really nice. It's only 0.2 millimeters off. Without any tuning or Z offset tuning, it should move down in this area and then move up in this other area, but it doesn't really do that. I was testing this piece for like 3 times, and almost the same thing happened. I gotta adjust the Z offset manually. It started on this piece down here. It was really close to the bed, so I make it go up, 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 and then it's way too high. So then I make it go back down a bit, and then it was printed perfectly in this area until it gets to the middle part, and then the 2 corner where it has the screw adjust on the bottom, and then it start printing like this. But after that part, it continues really nicely, and then it gets near the other screw where you can adjust from the bottom, and then it just starts to work like this. But it's still very good. If you just print in the middle area, it prints amazingly. With more tuning, I might actually get this printer to print the whole bed like this, to be very honest. So I was making this box for something else, for a motor fan, something like that. And I was like, okay, the K1 Max printed this piece, and I was wondering, can this Artillery Sidewinder X4 Pro have the tolerance of the K1 Max? Because as you know, the K1 Max has a really nice tolerance. Can this printer fit with other 3D printers? Because some 3D printers can't really do that with other 3D printers. I printed this battery holder to place it in here, and look at that. It just goes in so nicely. It just fit exactly how the other battery holder from the K1 Max fit. This Artillery Sidewinder Pro is very nice. Okay, so I believe I went over all the positive things that I have experienced with this printer. I actually like this printer a lot now. Let's go over all the things that this printer is good at. When this printer prints the layer lines, it prints flawlessly. There's no ghosting, minimum ghosting. It squished the layer very nicely to the point that you barely notice that it's 3D printed unless you look very closely for flaws. Besides that, it printed really nicely. The tolerance. A couple years back, in my experience, 3D printers can't really print it at 0.05 or 0.1 millimeters. At 0.1 maybe, but not at 0.05. But as time goes on, 3D printers are getting better and better. Tolerance at 0.05 is achievable with just some minimum tweaking. At 0.1, it's gonna be flawless. It's just gonna fit together nicely. Time for the cons of this 3D printer, or just things that Artillery can improve on in their next lineup of 3D printers. The first thing I noticed is that the bed leveling is kind of wonky. The words that they use are a little bit wonky and kind of confusing sometimes, but other than that, if you are used to 3D printing, then you will know exactly how they work. But let's say you are new to 3D printing and this is your first 3D printer, you might get into a little bit of trouble, but with some research and watch some YouTube videos, you will definitely get it. The really bad thing about this printer is the auto bed leveling. How I keep getting the nozzle to dig right into the bed. The print head should just go to the home position, and then you will be able to adjust on how low or how high you need it to be, instead of doing like how you just saw. That will actually ruin your build play, which actually ruined mine, and it will ruin the experience for people that purchase this as their first 3D printers. One thing I noticed is that on this, there's actually no sensor anywhere. There's no sensor here. There's no sensor on this build plate. This is what I think. How does know that it's home? I think Artillery might have preset the home position. So once this build plate goes all the way back and hit whatever is back there, the motors cannot turn anymore. So it knows that, okay, this is the home position. So it just bang, and it just stuck there. Same thing with the nozzle head. It just go all the way over here, and then it just like crash into this piece right here, and then it just like, okay, that's home. So there's no sensor or anything like that. So I will compare this to my CR6 SE. On the head, it has a sensor here, and even here, even on the bed, it has a sensor at the back. It has this like metal clip that when it hits that metal thing, and then it's like, okay, that's the end of it. I should not move anymore. Same thing with the bed. It has that sensor too. It has a laser sensor right here that shows you that it's all the way down at the bottom, which is very nice. But this Sidewinder X4 Pro doesn't have those sensor, but it still works. It would just feel like the machine is kinda crashing into the machine itself. When it prints fast, it sounds like everything is broken. There's no real guide or anything, so it basically just slide on the metal piece right here. But I don't really mind that, to be honest. It sounds like everything is broken, click, 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 like that. But with this method, the bed is very flat, 0.2 millimeters off, which is crazy, right? The other thing that is kind of not bad but just annoying is this filament sensor here. It's not, as you can see here, it's not completely stable. It has this wobbly thing, and sometimes you feel like, wait, what is that noise? Is something broken? No, it's just the sensor. And one more thing that I find kinda annoying, it's not this 3D printer, it's mostly all of the 3D printers out there. The motherboard fan, you cannot turn that off unless it just cool down and then just turn off by itself. You cannot do that. Even on the Cable Max, you can't do that without rooting. Most of the 3D printers can't really do that. I really find that very useful. So I wish more 3D printers company out there would just have that option in the screen here so that you can just turn off the motherboard fan. Yeah, that is pretty much it with my unbox and review of this 3D printers from Artillery, the Sidewinder X4 Pro. Like I said, I bought this with my own money. Everything I say here is basically on my opinion and my experience with this 3D printers for the past 2 days. I will leave links down below so you can go and check it out for yourself. If you are interested, make sure you subscribe to the channel because more of these kind of videos are coming very soon to the channel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, keep on 3D printing.